Most people spend their entire lives trying to fit in, adjusting their personality, filtering their words, chasing approval, and measuring their worth through the eyes of others. But there's a different type of man, rare, misunderstood, and often underestimated. He doesn't chase attention, he doesn't beg for respect, and he definitely doesn't follow the crowd. Yet somehow, he commands presence without saying much. People notice him even when he's silent. They respect him even when he walks alone. This is the Sigma male. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Being a Sigma isn't about acting cold, distant, or pretending you don't care. It's not about copying some lone wolf aesthetic you saw online. Real Sigma thinking is psychological. It's deep. It's built on how you see the world, how you control your mind, and how you move through life without needing validation. So what if I told you the difference between being ignored and being respected, between being average and being unforgettable, comes down to how you think? In this video, we're not just talking about behavior, we're breaking down the psychology behind the Sigma mindset, why they don't seek approval, why they stay calm under pressure, why they walk away when others beg for attention, and most importantly, how you can train your mind to operate the same way. Because the truth is, Sigma males aren't born, they're built. Built through observation, through discipline, through understanding people better than they understand themselves. While everyone else reacts emotionally, a Sigma observes. While others talk, he listens. While others chase, he attracts. And here's where it gets interesting. Most people think power comes from being loud, dominant, or controlling others, but Sigma males flip the script completely. Their power comes from independence, from self-control, from not needing anyone, but still being respected by everyone. Imagine walking into a room and not feeling the need to impress anyone, yet people naturally gravitate toward you. Imagine being able to stay calm in situations where others lose control. Imagine having a mindset so strong that rejection, criticism, or pressure doesn't shake you. That's what we're diving into. And by the end of this video, you won't just understand what a Sigma male is. You'll start seeing the world differently. You'll notice behaviors you never paid attention to before. You'll realize why certain people have quiet influence and why others, despite being loud, are ignored. But be warned, once you start thinking like this, you can't go back to being average. 1. He seeks no validation. Most people live their entire lives chasing approval. They adjust their behavior, filter their words, and constantly look for signs that they're accepted. A like, a compliment, a nod of approval. These small things become the foundation of their confidence. But here's the problem. When your confidence depends on others, you will always be controlled by them. Sigmas male understand something most people never realize. Validation is a trap. The moment you need someone else to approve of you, you give them power over your emotions, your decisions, and your identity. That's why the Sigma chooses a different path. He builds his confidence internally. He doesn't wait for people to tell him he's doing well. He already knows where he stands. He sets his own standards, and he judges himself based on those standards alone. This doesn't mean he ignores feedback, but it means he is not dependent on it. When a Sigma walks into a room, he's not thinking, do they like me? Instead, he's focused on his purpose, his direction, and his mindset. This internal stability makes him unshakable. Criticism doesn't break him, and praise doesn't control him. And here's the interesting part. When you stop seeking validation, people start respecting you more. Why? Because you become rare. In a world full of people trying to fit in, the one who stands firm without needing approval naturally stands out. A Sigma male doesn't chase acceptance, he becomes the standard. In a world where everyone is trying to be heard, the Sigma male chooses to be silent, and that's exactly what makes him powerful. Most people talk too much. They speak to impress, to prove a point, or simply to fill the silence because they feel uncomfortable in it. But the more they talk, the more they reveal, and the less impact their words actually have. The Sigma understands this at a deep level. He doesn't speak unless there is something worth saying. And because of that, when he finally does speak, people listen. Silence gives him an advantage that most people don't even notice. While others are busy talking, he is observing. He studies body language, tone of voice, reactions, and hidden intentions. He sees what others miss because he is not distracted by the need to constantly express himself. This makes him highly aware and emotionally intelligent. He can read a room within seconds, understand dynamics without anyone explaining them, and position himself accordingly. But his silence is not insecurity, it's control. There's a big difference between someone who is quiet because they are afraid and someone who is quiet because they are choosing to be. The Sigma belongs to the second category. When he speaks, his words are precise, calm, and intentional. He doesn't waste energy on unnecessary conversations. He doesn't argue to win attention. He speaks to add value, and that's why his words carry weight. Silence also creates mystery. People become curious about him because he doesn't reveal everything. And in human psychology, mystery attracts attention far more than constant exposure. The Sigma male knows that power is not in speaking more, it's in knowing when not to speak. 3. Emotional control. Most people are controlled by their emotions without even realizing it. One negative comment can ruin their entire day. One moment of anger can lead to decisions they regret for years. They react instantly without thinking, and in doing so, they give away their power. The Sigma male operates differently. He understands that seasons are natural, but being controlled by them is a choice. Instead of reacting immediately, he pauses. He observes what he feels, but he doesn't let that feeling dictate his actions. This ability to stay calm under pressure is what sets him apart. When someone tries to provoke him, he doesn't rush to respond. He knows that reacting emotionally often leads to mistakes, and more importantly, it shows weakness. Instead, he takes control of the situation by staying composed. This calmness can be intimidating because people expect reactions, and when they don't get one, they lose control instead. Emotional control also allows him to think clearly. In stressful situations, while others panic or act impulsively, the Sigma remains focused. He analyzes the situation, weighs his options, and makes decisions based on logic rather than temporary feelings. This doesn't mean he has no emotions. It means he has mastered them. He can feel anger, frustration, or pressure, but he channels those emotions instead of being consumed by them. He uses them as fuel for growth, discipline, and action. And over time, this level of control builds a strong presence. People begin to see him as stable, reliable, and difficult to shake. They think twice before challenging him because they know he won't break under pressure. The Sigma male knows a simple truth. If you can't control your emotions, you can't control your life. 4. He walks alone by choice for most people. Being alone feels uncomfortable. Silence makes them anxious, and they constantly seek company just to avoid facing themselves. They stay in relationships that drain them, surround themselves with people who don't truly understand them, and follow crowds just to feel a sense of belonging. But the Sigma male is different. He doesn't fear being alone, he values it. To him, solitude is not loneliness, it's clarity, it's peace. It's a space where he can think without noise, grow without distractions, and understand himself on a deeper level. While others are busy chasing attention, he is busy building himself. A Sigma doesn't stay in environments that don't align with his values. If a group is fake, shallow, or limiting his growth, he will walk away without hesitation. Not because he can't fit in, but because he refuses to lose himself just to belong. This ability to be alone gives him strength. He becomes independent, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. He doesn't rely on constant communication, approval, or presence from others to feel complete. And ironically, this independence makes him more attractive. People are naturally drawn to those who don't need them. When someone is comfortable on their own, it creates a sense of mystery and strength. It shows that they are not desperate, not attached, and not easily influenced. The Sigma male doesn't isolate himself from the world. He simply chooses quality over quantity. He'd rather have a few meaningful connections than be surrounded by noise. He walks alone not because he has no options, but because he understands his worth. 5. He understands people deeply. Most people only see what's on the surface. They listen to words, but they don't pay attention to what's really being said. They judge quickly, trust easily, and often get surprised when people reveal their true nature. The Sigma male doesn't make that mistake. He studies people, not in an obvious way, but quietly, consistently, and with intention. While others are busy talking about themselves, he is observing everything. Body language, tone shifts, eye contact, reactions, and even silence. Because he knows that what people don't say often matters more than what they do. He understands that humans are predictable in subtle ways. Patterns repeat, emotions leak through behavior, intentions reveal themselves over time. And because of this awareness, he can read situations with surprising accuracy. This gives him a powerful advantage. He can tell when someone is genuine and when someone is pretending. He can sense insecurity behind confidence and manipulation behind kindness. He doesn't fall easily for fake personalities because he looks beyond appearances. But what truly makes him different is that he doesn't react immediately to what he sees. He takes his time. He observes longer than most people would. He connects the dots before making conclusions. This level of understanding allows him to move smarter in social situations. He knows when to engage, when to step back, and when to walk away completely. It also makes him emotionally intelligent. He knows how people think, what they want, and how they behave under pressure. And because of that, he rarely finds himself in situations he didn't anticipate. The Sigma male doesn't just see people, he understands them. 6. He doesn't chase, he attracts. Most people spend their lives chasing attention, chasing relationships, chasing success, and constantly running after things they feel they need to be complete. The more they chase, the more they seem to lose control, and the more desperate they appear. The Sigma male takes a completely different approach. He doesn't chase, he attracts. Instead of focusing on what he can get from others, he focuses on what he can build within himself. He invests his time in self-improvement, discipline, skills, and purpose. While others are looking outward, he is working inward. And that changes everything because when you build real value, confidence, competence, and clarity, people naturally start to notice. Opportunities begin to appear. Respect comes without asking. Attention comes without effort. The Sigma understands a powerful principle. Anything you chase runs away, but what you attract comes willingly. This is why he doesn't beg for attention or force connections. If someone wants to be in his life, they will show it. If not, he simply keeps moving forward. No pressure, no desperation. This mindset gives him control. He is not dependent on outcomes. He doesn't feel the need to prove himself to anyone. And because of that, his energy feels different, calm, grounded, and confident. People can sense this. They feel that he is not trying to impress them, and ironically, that's what makes him impressive. His focus, his independence, and his self-respect create a natural pull. The Sigma male knows that the goal is not to chase everything, but to become someone worth chasing. 7. Strong boundaries. One of the clearest signs of a Sigma male is his ability to set and protect strong boundaries. Most people struggle with this. They say yes when they want to say no. They tolerate disrespect to avoid conflict. They give their time, energy, and attention too easily, and as a result, they often feel drained, used, and undervalued. The Sigma male refuses to live that way. He understands that boundaries are not about pushing people away, they're about protecting what matters. His time, his energy, his focus, and his peace are all valuable, and he doesn't allow just anyone to access them. When something doesn't align with his values, he says no, clearly and without guilt. He doesn't over-explain himself, and he doesn't seek approval for his decisions. He knows that people who respect him will understand, and those who don't were never meant to stay. This level of self-respect changes how others treat him. People quickly learn that they cannot manipulate him, pressure him, or take advantage of him. And because of that, they begin to approach him differently, with more caution and more genuine intent. Boundaries also give him emotional stability. He doesn't get pulled into unnecessary drama or toxic situations because he simply doesn't allow it into his space. And here's the key. His boundaries are consistent. He doesn't change them depending on the person. He doesn't lower his standards to please others. What he accepts and what he rejects is clear, and that clarity builds trust and respect. The Sigma male knows this. If you don't set boundaries, people will set them for you. So now you understand. Thinking like a Sigma male isn't about acting different. It's about becoming different from the inside out. It's about building a mindset that doesn't depend on approval, a presence that doesn't need noise, and a life that isn't controlled by others. Most people will hear this and go back to their old habits, but a few will actually apply it, and those are the ones who stand out. The question is, which one are you? If this video made you see things differently, then you're already on the right path. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because we break down the psychology behind confidence, mindset, and human behavior in a way most people never understand. And before you leave, tell me in the comments, which Sigma trait do you think is the hardest to master?